Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I don't have a bingo. What is the play? I've got moved, but I'm going to play Vom. I think it offers a lot less to opponents, and the Rackley was quite good. Now through an I would have beautied. Not seeing a 7. What about the floaters? Nothing with V. Oh, I've got the out prefix, no, and nothing with the M. So I'll be looking to play off B and U. Butte is good, but it's not a verb, so buted is not good. But Butte would stick a lot of tiles out in the open if I played that in rows G or I. Is there any way of playing off the U? In a shorter word? Well, I've got daub, but that isn't shorter. Daub still provides a lot to opponents, so let's see what they do. And hopefully they'll stick an I out into the open. I've got auto as a prefix. Still considering the floaters in case I have an 8, but nothing has come to mind. Bedmate through the M, retaining the U. I don't think that scores enough. Okay, so do these 2-letter pairs give me anything? OW, no. ME, no. So I could play Butte. ADE, not terrible. Butte takes O and S. 21 points. Do I have anything better? Something which provides less for opponent. ME takes a U under it as well as above it. So do I have any EU plays? Don't think I do. Yeah, I am going back to playing up here, and Butte was what I had seen, and not a good pick, all consonants. And I don't think there's an 8 here, but only the E to consider as a floater. I don't think Butte was a good play. I think row H is too valuable. I think probably row J might have been a better option. Anyway, what am I going to do here? Great, only 24 points for opponent. Is there really no bingo through an A? I don't think there is. And what about N? I've got grand as a prefix with EFR. No, grand fur is good, but that would leave a D. So I was thinking about playing fad, keeping GRR. That doesn't feel great. What about fag? 27 points, pretty decent. I'm minded to play fard instead, turning over tiles, obstructing these floaters, and not providing very much. 33 points. And, well, I've got the ing ending, but do I have a bingo? So I'm not seeing a 7. I thought initially I had rinning, but that's 3 N's. What about this floating A? Not seeing anything. Okay, so just not a great rack. Fortunately, only 8 points for opponent. Fumer is good. So I could play Rin here, 15 points. Keeping quite a nice rack lead, which goes well with the A. If opponents, well, they only scored 8 points, they may be keeping a powerhouse, and if they've got an S or a blank row, K has just been gifted to them. Let me put this back because Ired is good, but I've nothing to go in front of this R. Bown isn't good. I think it's got a sticky E, B-O-W-N-E, but Bower is. So do I have any? Well, I do. I have Gur. 28 points, not bad, and definitely not providing an S lane for opponent. I'm going with this. Quite a kind pick. That could have been a lot worse. I lead by 50. So row E is quite hot if you've got the right tiles, but it's not a spot for my J. Janny is good, J-A-N-N-Y, and Gin and Ginny. Quite a few variants on the spelling of gin, which I'd need to consider to be sure of. But I'm not bingoing this turn, and my lead only 50 points, so opponent could take a lead. And I haven't seen anywhere great for my J. Oh, wow, look at this. Nice score by opponent, but they have set up Ninja for 60 points. And could there be anything better? Well, my J can go in front of O-R. But nothing I've got goes in front of BE. Well, that makes the decision quite straightforward. And I draw the first blank. Fantastic. And I've still held on to my lead. Cred takes an A in front. But you're not good. And Y is my only consonant. So how can I sort this out in one? I'd really like to play off both Ys, but also make inroads into the vowels that I have. Wow, opponent's scoring well, 41 and now 42. No big lead for me. So, what to do? Where are the floating consonants? There's G. Not seeing anything there. So what about playing off just one Y and getting rid of a couple of vowels? So O is my only vowel that goes underneath O. Wow, O doesn't play well with Y apart from OY. What about this? A-Y-E, taking out A of Diana as a bingo floater, scoring 17 points, not bad. Not setting up anything. I'm going with this. Well, I still may be too far away from a bingo, but it's a more balanced rack, and I've got a couple of scoring tiles in the K and the Y. Not seeing anything down from the E. I have Enoki, but that stops one square short. Ken and Yen, both good. So I have Kaib. That's quite nice. I don't think I'm going to be able to leave the perfect rack leave. Now, opponent's got only 15 points. Fantastic. So this is what I'm seeing. Kaib, 34 points. That's half a bingo, and this rack leave is pretty decent. A lot of the time I will be drawing to a bingo, but not a particularly bingo-y board. I'm going with... Oh, well, I'm just wondering about K-Y-B-E, but I think it's bike, B-Y-K-E. So, not bingo-y. Really dry on bingo-y consonants. I've had Y, K, and Y. Not a whiff of N, R, S, or T. Still nothing down from this E. Opponent's sit is quite blocky. Nothing goes in front of it. Great, just 10 points for opponent, but they could well be hanging on to a really good rack. And if they get a bingo down, this board is so tight it may not be possible to reply with a bingo, even if I have the best possible rack. So what am I going to do here? I've got, well, what have I got? Not very much. No bingo, I don't think. Row L, quite a good lane. IT takes S and A. A only takes an S. So, what can I do? Why not open the board up so if opponent bingos, there is a new lane? Yeah. 11 points. I'm not seeing any other way of opening this board up. And I think it's, if I don't open the board up now, it's a real crapshoot. Opponent could have a bingo beginning with S, and then there's not a single bingo lane on the board. I'm going with Yuan. And I draw the second blank. Both of these blanks could be consonants, so I'm surely am in bingo territory here. I have Soigné in row L. That's nice. Fantastic. Opponent doesn't bingo. So this is what I'm thinking of. Soigné for 64. But surely I have a bingo ending in A. But what? 12 minutes on my clock. And what would it score? 71 points. What did Soigné score? 68 points. I don't think it's worth spending time looking. Opponent will not have a blank and is going to struggle to find a bingo ending in A. Wow, fantastic. I have diglots. Should opponent open the board up? And of course I have opened it up in row B. So, 72 points for opponent, and that is a non-bingo. Okay. So, S does take a T after it, as well as both vowels. I don't think diglots has got an anagram, so my bingo doesn't play. What I can do is play diglot, 32 points. I still lead by about 30. This is going to put me about a bingo ahead. It retains the S. I have to play in row O. Opponent may have a big score there. But can I get value from this Q? So either TI or OI. What do I have which goes under the G? Well, just G and S. So TIG. Not seeing anything. So what about TIS? No. OIG? OIS? No. What about a play ending OI or TI? TI most likely. Wow, I'm just not seeing anything. I'm going back to diglot for 32. Not terrible. Of course, the bingo lane I've created is not S-friendly, so these S's piling up on my rack with one to come, not particularly bingo-y. Of course, if opponent makes a play in row B, there may be an S lane. Diglot's quite nice. It's really not created anything for opponent, and this board is super dry. So opponent plays 37 points. M goes in front of Z, yes. Still one S out there, so if there wasn't, I could play Mutt, creating a floater only I have. What about playing Hem? What about playing May? 27 points, pretty decent. Not only 10 tiles left and no U's to come. 27 points is decent. Zeddy takes nothing in front. My lead, only 30 points. This will take my lead to 57. On a pretty starved board, except for this single bingo lane. The remaining tiles contain quite a few non-bingo-y tiles, but I can't rule out a bingo. But look at these vowels. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are only 4 vowels out of 17 tiles. Wow, this U is looking increasingly valuable. Opponent's surely going to burn 1 vowel by playing in row D. Yeah, I think this could be a very nip and tuck grinding end game, which is fine. The only fly in the ointment will be if opponent bingos. But wow, I draw vowels. Fantastic. There are only 2 vowels unseen out of 14 tiles. So well done to opponent if they bingo with that, and if they do, they'll have 7 consonants on their rack. Opponents played WOP in column 14. Now, do I have a bingo? Zeddy doesn't take an S. But these are super bingo-y tiles. Have I overlooked any lanes? Surely not. Nothing goes in front of Sit Vom or Diglot. Row M not available. So it's just row D. And I've got a U. What goes after ZE that I've got? Just A. Well, I don't want to burn vowels. Just wondering about killing the board dead with MU. My lead is only 40 points. Opponent is surely not bingoing. But they may. What is best here? And the big tiles to come, F, H and V. I think I have to play in row D, because if I don't, then opponent plays there. Yeah, D and P both go under ZE, so I need to take that out. Let's see what opponent does with this. Is this the right 4 points? 5 tiles left. Yeah, there are bingos in what's left. There's lengths. And opponent might create a bingo lane. They might play in row N, for example. Yeah, if I put anything in front of that U, OU, I'm creating a bingo lane, which is madness. I'm going with this. Great, I get a scoring tile in the H. I lead by 44 points. Can I hang on? H is a great scoring tile. I can play SH, hanging on to my vowels, and getting over 20 points in row O. Row D, a bingo lane for bingos ending in U. I don't have one, and there aren't many of them. Now, row N is a bingo lane, but it would require 3 vowels to go above D, G and L, and neither me or opponent have got that many. Opponent creates a lane, but only if it ends in for a bingo ending in O, and there are none in the remaining pool. So 2 tiles left. I don't think I have a bingo here. So this is what I was looking at. I'll draw 7 tiles, and this is a pretty good 5-letter set in case opponent opens the board. But even if they don't, this is a decent score. SH for 20. Oh, opponent lost contact or quit. Come on, opponent. Oh, and I draw the V. Unbelievable. Wow, an opponent's got Teflons on their rack. They do have a bingo. Fortunately, there is nowhere to play, otherwise they would win the game. I hadn't checked that Zep takes nothing in front, or this play that opponents had created with Gup doesn't take anything in front, but it doesn't. So no bingo for me with this rack, regardless of whether it plays or not. I have a 40-point lead. Surely that's enough to hang on. Where am I going to play the V? Row N and row E look like the only lanes where anything can be played. Opponent surely going out in 2, despite the dryness of the board. What could they be thinking of? I don't know. All H's have gone for CH in underneath this C. What a tight board. And look at this score, neither of us over 400 yet. Just looking to see if there are any spots I've overlooked for scoring. Not seeing anything, so opponents played EF in row K. They're not going out. I'm going to have 2 turns. But where am I going to play my V? I could play Avo, but then I'm burning all of my vowels. Interesting. What to do? I wonder if I played off my H too cheaply given this CH spot. Oh well. V doesn't really play well with A or O. I guess I have Vor. It's 5 minutes on my clock. I have Arvo, which burns off a few more tiles. What about doing this? 17 points. Opponent's going to score practically nothing. I think this might be a really bitty end game, but have I gifted opponent an out through this A? Talons, yes I have, so this can't be the play. 5 minutes on my clock. Where can this VR? What do I have down onto this D? I'm just looking for a play with the V that uses only one vowel. Well, that's quite a nice play. Offers absolutely nothing. Leaves me with rods. Am I going out with that anywhere? Dorsad not good. Dorsad is good, but blocked by sit. Well, I'm not going out. What goes in front of MU? Well, neither A. Well, A does, I think. So Razzie plays. But opponent's got an O for going over the R. 4 minutes on my clock. I am going with that. I could play Vaz. Keep, and then I would have Trod on my rack. That still doesn't go out. Vaz takes a U in front, but there are none left. I'm going with this. Surely enough to hang on. I trail by 33. And opponent's now got the same problem as I have, trying to play anything at all. And of course, if they open the board, I may be able to go out. So I have doors, ords, and rods on my rack. None of those play. Nothing goes in front of TI. These sorts of super tight boards just do come along, and they're great fun if you win. But a bit soul-destroying when you lose. And the reason they're fun when you win is because every game is fun when you win. And I think I can survive anything that opponent does. This is a pretty rubbish set of 5 tiles, and the S is almost worthless on this board. We both have one, so where are the S spots? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I can't see a single word which can be pluralized. Wow. Not a single one. That can't happen very often. So do I have anything which ends in V? I have Sov for 12 points. Wahey. 11 minutes on opponent's clock. Come on, opponents. Let's get this over with. I have Drad hanging on to my O. So I do have a 2-move out from this spot. I have Drad and So. Great. Opponent plays LA for just 2 points, keeping Snot. So if I play Drad, opponent still can't go out. Opponent's also got Onst. And now I have an out in 2 spots. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't think I've given opponent an out. So I have So and Go for 5 points. I have So and Odd, also for 5 points. And Sod. Any other SO spots? Well, usually there'd be millions of spots, but I think it's just the 2 on this board. There's an awful lot of this board which simply hasn't been used. Still looking around for any S spots. Not seeing any. Come on, opponent. 9 minutes. Creds is good, but SOI isn't. That takes a U, but not an O. Otherwise, Sog would have played. Great. Opponent plays When for 6, I8. Doesn't provide anything new. So I can go out. Yep. And the final score, 352 for opponent, 401 for me, a winning margin of 49 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game, so close. Such a tight board for a long time. It was me to go first. Moved was the alternative I thought about, but I preferred Vom for reasons stated. And opponent struggles to score, partly because of a short opening play. Tabooed, that's nice. I play Butte for 21, which I wasn't a fan of. Fortunately, opponent couldn't capitalise and got just 24 points. Phew, no miss bingo here. I was waiting for Farage to prop up, but obviously not good. Fardage is, but Dredger was good as a double-double through ED. That would have been pretty good. Instead, I get 33 for Fard. Opponent's rack plays Oi. And then I have Gur for 28, which I like. Nice rack for opponent. No bingo. Plays Cobia. And I have Ninja for 60, which was great fun. So I do now have a bingo's lead, but opponent scores well to keep me within their sights. AYE for 17. Wow, top of the shop. I wasn't expecting that. Nice rack for opponent, but no bingo. Plays Sit. And I have Kaib for 34, which looks fine. Opponent with the Q, nowhere to play it. Plays just the L. Wow, look at these scores. So dismal. Already the board is super tight. But I take the opportunity, with very slim pickings available, to create a new bingo lane in case opponent bingos. But they don't. They play enterer. I have both blanks and nothing in row O. So glad I didn't waste time looking for one of those, but plenty in row N. But I'm not a fan of those plays because they provide access to row O. So Soigné for 64 I think is fine. Oh, absolutely fantastic play by opponent. Bingo-y score with a non-bingo. And yeah, I'm just 40 points ahead. I played Diglot for 32. Opponent plays Z. Must L1. Yeah, quite nice, but opening lanes, so I don't think that's great. I play May to keep it tight. Opponent with no vowels plays Whoop. No bingo. Razzie, I thought about that, but it opens up row A. I play Mew to keep the board super tight. Opponent plays Gup. I play SH for 20, which is, I think, a pretty good play compared to the others available. Opponent plays F. I play that, and these alternatives aren't really having in mind looking for an out in 2, although some of them may have one. Vrot, that would have got the play doubled. That would have been nice for 19 and may have been the play. No out for opponent. They play La. No out for me. I play Drad. Still no out for opponent. They play Wen. And I have S for So for 5, which was best. So, what a fantastic game. A super tight board, which presents its own problems which you need to deal with, and given the range of Scrabble boards that can occur, and how often you have a wide open board when both opponents are reasonably good and are bingoing, it's good to have the experience of dealing with these tight boards. So, super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.